everyone, my name is Donovan, and today I want to share with you some quick first impressions of the brand new Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. It's available right now for $300 in the version I have, so I want to go ahead and show you what version I ended up picking up. So I have the Active 2 in 44 millimeter. Now I have the Bluetooth only version. There is an LTE version as well. It's going to cost you $150 more because that one comes in at $450. And then there's also a smaller version, which is going to look a lot like this one here. So this is the original Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. This is a 40 millimeter watch, whereas this one's 44. And the Active 2 is also available in 40 millimeter. So I'll go ahead and show you that real quick. Go ahead and flip it there. So we have the 44 millimeter version available in cloud silver, the aqua black that I have, and then also in pink gold. And then if we come over here into the 40 millimeter, notice it's $20 cheaper, so down to 280, and then also the same three colors. Now it is also available in different colors if you pick up the LTE version, and another major difference between this version and the LTE version, of course, is that one you can get phone calls directly to the watch without your phone around, but that one also comes with a stainless steel bezel, so instead of being aluminum like you see here, that one would be stainless steel. So now let's do a quick comparison to this watch right here. So this is the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active, the original version. Like I mentioned, this one is a 40 millimeter only version. That's the only way this one came. This one was only $200 versus $300 for this one. So what do you get for that extra money? Well, this one has Samsung Pay, also has this touch bezel that you can see here. You can also take phone calls on this one as long as it's connected up to your phone, because you can see it does have a speaker over here and a microphone on the other end. Has the same two buttons that you get over here. They are slightly different though. So this is the back button and home button, also the power button there. But you can see they are a little bit different than what you get over here on the original Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. Also, looking at the back, you can see the heart rate sensors are a little different, because this one honestly was one of the best. I will say it actually is the best heart rate sensor on a Samsung Galaxy Watch. This one is just as good so far. Now, I've only gone on a single run. I've only had it for, let's see, about 16 hours now. I went on a single run with this, and so far the GPS seems pretty darn good. Also, the heart rate sensor seems good. I'll have to do a lot more testing on that because obviously I've only had it for a handful of hours. As far as the touch bezel goes, this was one of the biggest, I guess, selling points of this watch, because they did away with the actual bezel, the physical bezel, and now you have a touch bezel, and it has a nice satisfying vibration to it. Makes it feel like you're almost really pushing it, which is really cool. Another feature that I really like on this watch that I don't believe was available on the Active Watch 2, or sorry, the original Active, is the always-on display, which you do get here, but you definitely don't want to use it on this watch because this battery life on the original Active could barely get through a day, whereas this one, it's seeming like it's going to be a little bit better. So I took this one off of the charger last night. I think it was about 10 p.m. It's now around 3:30 in the afternoon the next day, so overnight it went down 4%. So that's not too bad. It was at 96% when I went out for a run this morning. I went for 5.5 miles, so I was using GPS, also listening to a Spotify playlist here. And yes, you can listen to Spotify without the Galaxy Buds or any other headphones, because it does have that built-in speaker. So if you want to be that guy running around with your wrist playing some music, you can do that, but I would recommend probably using some wireless earbuds. But I already have, let's go ahead and go into Spotify. I just want to show you real quick. I do have it so that it's set up that I don't have to have my phone with me, so I will go out running and I can listen to music and track my GPS running without my phone with me, so that's really nice. So if you want that, you got to go to playback and you want to switch it to standalone if you want to be able to use that feature. And then you can see that I do have, I think, about 300 to 400 songs on here. It only has 1.6 gigs of storage available, which was actually the same thing as you have here. So I feel like that's something they really need to change. I mean, it's not that much more expensive to throw in 8 gigs or 16 gigs. I really wish they would change that, but that's what we get for now. So I'll go ahead and go into my music, and you can see if I go into my playlist, I have, I think, 3 or 4. So I have classic road trip songs, which is what I listened to this morning. All these you can listen to as long as you have Wi-Fi available, but if you don't have Wi-Fi available, you're going to have to download them. So like I said, I have three. So I have Top Christian and also today's Top Hits. So those are the three that I have downloaded. So in total, maybe 150 to 200 songs, and I'm about half a gig left of storage. So maybe one more playlist I could pull in here and still use it. So either way, I still think that they need to add in more storage. So Samsung, if you're watching this, please add in some more storage to your watches, because I just think 4 gigs, and really, again, it's only like 1.6 gigs that's available for music is available. So I'm just going to go ahead and run over through the software just quickly, because you've probably seen this before. So if we go over to the left, or we can turn the wheel, we're going to get our notifications. So of course those will come directly from our phone. Obviously, if you have the LTE version, you don't even need your phone with you for those. And then if we keep going, we've got, of course, our watch face, which this is a new watch face that's available. This one is not available on the original Galaxy Watch Active, at least that I can find. But this one looks a whole lot like, if you're familiar with the Apple Watch, looks a whole lot like their infographic one. And by the way, I really like the Apple Watch. So I went with this one because it just shows you all kinds of information. You can also click on these, some of them, and they're available to actually take you directly into different applications. So we can go in here and you can adjust this one to change what it does, but I had it so it's set up to go directly into a workout. But if you hold down here, we can go through our different watch faces, and there are so many watch faces available for Galaxy watches. That's definitely a huge plus here, but then I can go in here and customize it as well. So right here for this one, you can't do a whole lot of customization. You can change the color. So I gotta go the other way, I guess. We can make it kind of more of a purplish color, more of that green color I had, or aqua. And then up here there's like a bluish purple one as well. So anyways, those are the colors that are available, and if I swipe over, you can see that you can change what that app is going to be. So I can change it into different applications. Now right now it's just changing it different workouts, but you can change that as well. So pretty cool. That's just one watch face, of course. And then if we go over here to the right, we can go into our various widgets, and you can adjust these widgets. You can move them around however you want. You can customize them. So that's really cool. And then we, of course, have alarms. And, of course, this one actually has like an audible alarm, unlike this one. This one just vibrated when you had an alarm. But here we actually have an audible alarm. So that was kind of cool. I used that this morning to wake up. And then we can add in some widgets. You can see there's a bunch of them available. And that's one of the coolest things about this watch, is just all the widgets that are available. And I think they're really useful as well. So let's go back out of that, and then if we want to go into all of our applications, we're just going to hit this button while we're on our home, because normally that's the home button, but then it's also the app button if you want to go into those. So we do have, of course, the Samsung Galaxy Store available right here on your wrist. I still think that is something that needs to be improved. There's still not a lot available here. A lot of watch faces, a ton of watch faces, some really important apps, like if you want to use Strava, you can use Strava to map your workouts. You can also use like Map My Run, things like that, but still a little bit more limited, especially in comparison to something like the TicWatch Pro. So obviously this is an Android watch. Also the Apple Watch definitely has a lot more applications available. So something I think that I would like to see different about Tizen. That's probably the biggest weakness of Tizen, is that the market is just not as big in terms of the apps you can choose from. But still, all the apps that you would need on a watch are pretty much here. I just want to do a quick comparison, and I will do another video where I compare up these two watches. So this is the Garmin Vivoactive 4. I'm also hoping to get the Garmin Venue, which is a lot more like this watch. But I'm going to do some comparisons to this one, but I wanted to go ahead and show you the difference in terms of the actual size of the two watches. So similar in terms of thickness, similar button placement. This one doesn't have a speaker or microphone though, and this one obviously has a totally different kind of display. So this one has a transreflective display versus an AMOLED display, and then the Garmin Venue actually has a it's a $400 watch, but it has an AMOLED display just like that one. But yeah, so coming back to the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2, as far as the applications you're going to use for it, so obviously it works really great with my Note 10. It does, of course, work with iPhones as well. So you can use it with an iPhone, but you're going to be limited to that. You're not going to be able to respond to messages with that one. Apparently I had a bunch of apps open I didn't think I had opened. Okay, so now I want to go into Samsung Health. So Samsung Health is going to show you, of course, a ton of information. If I go into my recent workouts, you can see my most recent run. This is the one I did this morning with the watch on. You can see it's going to give you a ton of information here. It gives you all your splits. Of course, it's going to give you also your map, and then it's going to map your heart rate. And you can see you can compare elevation and cadence. And if we come down in here, a bunch of good information here, like your max pace, your average pace through the run, your highest and lowest elevation, your heart rate throughout the workout, cadence, and then of course the weather as well. And you can see here you can export it as a GPX file as well. One other thing I wanted to show you is that it does technically share, that is not what I want to go into, but technically you can share this with Strava. But for some reason that really doesn't work very well. So if you want to use it with Strava, I would recommend just actually using the Strava app on the watch. I prefer the Samsung Workouts app, but it doesn't transfer to Strava super well. And then of course I should probably go into this one as well. This Samsung, where is it at? Samsung Galaxy wearable app. So if you use this with an iPhone, it's actually called something different. It's called Galaxy Watch, I think, or Galaxy Wear app. So not quite the same thing. And apparently there's an update for the app, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But here you can see all of the settings that were available on the watch are basically identical there. So if I come in here, go into settings, we can do some quick comparisons. So you can see they look very similar in terms of what the settings look like. So very cool. If you want to add content, you can add music tracks and images, but if you want to add Spotify, you can just go right through the Spotify app on here. If we come down here, we can go into all the different watch faces that are available, and there's a ton of them. You can buy a bunch of them if you want, but of course you don't have to. Then we come over here into Discover, and this is where you're going to find all the different apps as well. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is what the workout interface looks like, and also some of the different workouts that it can track. So first of all, you can adjust these however you want them, but it does show you right up here when it does have GPS, so that will lock in. Same thing with the heart rate, that will lock in once you actually have that. And then some of the workout available, so there's first the running coach one. I haven't tried that one out, obviously. I just like using the basic workout, but then we also have walking, cycling, hiking, swimming in a pool, swimming outdoors, which is really cool. We have a treadmill, exercise bike, elliptical trainer, circuit trainer, weight machine. I mean, there's really just so many here. And then we go into more workouts, and you can see that you can do individual workouts here, like all the different body weight ones, different weight training kind of things. Now, I will say that a lot of people mention that those don't work particularly well. It usually misses some of your reps. So like if you're doing push-ups and you do 20 of them, it might only count like 17 or whatever. I've heard that. I've never really personally used that. I don't really see a need to. I'm mostly just a runner. So what I want to do is go into the running interface real quick, just to show you guys what that looks like. So up here I can go ahead and just start a run and go in here and set out a target. I can adjust, oops, get out of that. I can change my workout screens, which is what I wanted to show you, so you can customize that. So I like having the music controller on the workout screen, so it's always going to be to the left of my main watch screen. And then we can have a target screen. I don't like using targets. I just like to go out for a run. And then you can adjust what each screen shows. So like I like having distance, the overall time, and then my current pace. Honestly, I probably should change that to average pace, because the current pace is it's only so it's not really super accurate, but you can see you can adjust it to a bunch of different things. So I'm going to go ahead and hit back, and you can see that on my second screen I have heart rate, distance, and then average pace. So that's what that one's going to show. And I'll go ahead and show you that this one you can change a bunch of different things. You can change time, heart rate, that's your overall time. There is your calories burned, that's your current pace versus average pace. And we have our steps per minute, so cadence, speed, average speed, and then back to distance. So those are the options you have there available. So we're going to go ahead and go out of that. And I think that was all I wanted to show you on that one. Actually, yes, that was all I wanted to show you. But I did want to mention that this one is something different. I don't remember seeing this on any other Galaxy Watch I've had. But now there's high location accuracy available, which I don't know that was available before. We can set laps here. Of course, you can change it to kilometers if you want. We can also have guide frequency, so it's going to audibly tell you when you maybe you're going too slow or your pace at every lap. It'll show you that as well. And then this one I really like is screen always on. So rather than having to flip up your wrist while you're working out, you can just have the screen always on. All right, so now it's time to wrap up this first impressions video with just some final concluding thoughts on the watch so far. So first thing I want to mention is I really like this touch bezel. I know I mentioned this earlier, but I do think that was a nice improvement, a nice way to solve the issue of having that rotating bezel without having to actually physically put one on there. So that's number one. Number two is in comparison to the original Galaxy Watch Active, the battery life so far definitely seems better, and that's really important because it kind of has to be, because sometimes I could barely get through a full day if I went for a run and listened to music on the Galaxy Watch Active, but on the Active 2 so far it definitely seems like it is going to be easily a one-day battery. They say multiple days in their advertisements, but honestly, I'm not buying into that. I'm going to say maybe 2 days if I stretch it out, but probably mostly just easily one day, maybe day and a half on the battery. So overall, that's not bad. And then I do really like the addition of the speaker and the microphone here in comparison to the Galaxy Watch Active. So anyways, let me know in the comment section what questions you guys have. If there are any videos that you'd like to see made, I'm definitely going to be making some videos comparing it up to the Vivo Active 4, also the Garmin Venue if I can get my hands on that one, and the TicWatch Pro. So anyways, oh, and also the Apple Watch Series 5, which I just got as well. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.